Andrew, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your current fitness level?
10. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not at a 10 right now. I'd say I'm probably at a 9. And I won't ever say a 10 because I always am looking for the next level. And if I say it, I'm at 10, then I feel like there's no more room to grow. I absolutely have some room for growth there still.
Gotcha. Would you say that you've always been at a 10?
No. I would say really for a long time, I was like skinny fat, right? Like I was slim. I've always been slim, but I did not eat well. I ate a lot of like really bad food. And so I was, ultimately not very healthy. And I did absolutely nothing from a fitness perspective. I basically, if I was out and walking the dog or doing like yard work, then I was considering myself like being active, but I wasn't working out. I wasn't running. I wasn't walking. I wasn't doing anything really to improve my physical fitness.
Gotcha. So, what's your current fitness routine? What gets you going throughout the week?
So my routine right now is a little bit different than how things started. Right now, I basically am working out every day. So Mondays I do swimming. This past Monday I got to run and swim, so I was really happy about that. But I have an active recovery day on Tuesday, which is usually just like a light jog for me. Wednesday, I do a CrossFit class. Thursday, I usually try to do a long run. And then right now, which is kind of new for me over the past like 45 days or so, has been doing weightlifting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm basically just trying to kind of keep a wide range of different activities as I'm, preparing to do some long runs and a triathlon later this year.
What are some things that you've noticed that's changed about you, whether physical or mental, while going in this fitness journey?
Well, like I've definitely experienced physical changes. When I did 75 hard, I was having to take a progress picture every single day, and I've been through that program twice now. So I have absolutely seen that. And I would tell anybody who is on a fitness journey, like daily pictures is really a great habit to get into. So I've definitely experienced some physical changes. I mean, I'm never going to become like the giant big guy. That's not how I'm built. But I would say, from a mental and emotional perspective, it's definitely helped me with dealing with my emotions. I can have some big emotions, and it's definitely helped me to tame those. Somebody said to me one time, like, if you tire your body, you can tame your mind. And I'm super ADHD. If you don't know me well enough, well, now you have it. And so keeping really active really helps me with that.
What would you say to someone who's maybe scared to enter in their fitness journey or don't know how to start?
I can only share with you what I've done. I don't think that I'm professional when it comes to fitness, and so I won't try to advise anybody on what I think they should do. But from my perspective, and what I've done is when I first started off, I worked with, and this is actually pretty funny, like I worked with a personal trainer, and I had it in my mind that if I worked with a personal trainer, that they would hold me accountable, and that's what I needed. So I did that, and I really liked the trainer, but I only worked with him 1 day a week because I couldn't really afford anything more than that. And he was a really inexpensive trainer at the time. And I did that for probably like 6 months, but I'd only work out like 1 day a week. It was like almost a waste of time and money. But as I think back on it, and I think, what, like that was actually a really important step for me because I wasn't doing anything. So I started with that, and I eventually kind of got to a point where I was not working with him, and I realized that there was like something kind of missing from my life, but I didn't really know what it was. And that kind of haunted me that I wasn't doing anything at all again. And I decided, I was like, you know what, like, let me try a group class. Now, I'm not interested in group classes. In general, I'm more of a private instruction type of person. I just prefer that. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get outside of my comfort zone. I'm gonna do a group class. And there's a CrossFit gym right next to the office here. And I knew that if I went there, that there would be an accountability there, and I would have no excuse because I didn't have to go anywhere. It was right here where I'm already at. And so I decided to do that. I actually ended up falling in love with it and started doing that like 3 days a week back in 2022. And that eventually spurred me going in and deciding, hey, I want to do something like really hard and like challenge myself. And I got involved with doing 75 hard. And when I did that, that was like the catapult that pushed me over the threshold into now I'm really like on a fitness journey. Like I'm gonna do something here. And so I went through that, and I found that I was wanting to do a lot of my outdoor exercise, like running, but I couldn't run. I would have like IT band issues where I would get like a mile in and I would just be like incapacitated, like I couldn't run, and I'd have to limp back home. And then for the next 48 hours, I could barely walk. But I just like kept at it, just doing a little bit at a time. Again, just like small steps, but just being consistent and being disciplined about it every single day. So I think one of the biggest things that I would say that I did is I did the least amount possible for a long time. And it might have actually taken me like 2 years of doing like the least amount possible before I actually started to have the desire to do more. And so that's what I would say is like, you know, if you are scared, or if you've had injuries, or if you just, whatever your reason is, like just do something. And even if it's 10 minutes, like there's a 7-minute workout app called 7-Minute Workout app. If you can't do that, like we got other things that we got to talk about.
So you mentioned 75 hard kind of being that turning point for you. So can you tell us a little bit more about that and what was like your major challenges with that?
Yeah, so I mean, 75 hard is a mental toughness challenge more than it is anything else. But there is absolutely a physical component to it. The 5 things are: read 10 pages out of a personal development fitness book, 2 workouts per day, one of them being outdoors, drink a gallon of water, follow a diet, and take a daily progress picture. So of those things, I found that the hardest part was the diet, because I've prior been used to just eating whatever I wanted. And I'm a very much so like a meat and potatoes guy. So I'm used to just like steak and fries and burgers and, you know, just like really not healthy. So that was like super challenging for me. But it was interesting because like when I started doing 2 workouts a day, like after probably about a week or so, like my body was craving like quality nutrition. And I started realizing like, hey, yeah, like this is actually pretty easy to eat some of this other stuff if my body's craving it. So I would say that that was the biggest challenge, especially when my son wanted to have birthday cake for my birthday, you know, and I'm in this program and I like can't eat cake. So I had to sit and watch him eat my birthday cake, and I didn't get to have any. And that was like, I was pretty challenging. I was like pretty close to the end of my journey. I think I had like 20 days left. So yeah, I think the nutrition piece was the most difficult. I really learned to love the physical piece of it. And now like, I love when I get to do 2 workouts a day.
What are some of the kind of the mental barriers you had to break down to be able to enjoy that physical aspect of it?
I mean, I think a lot of the mental part was really just like all of the excuses that I like kind of had of, you know, why I didn't want to do it. You know, like going out in the cold every day, because when I started the first time, I think I started in April, and it was still like pretty cool outside. So like the mental part of like I have to go outside and do the workout, I would say was definitely challenging for me. I don't know what else I would say. It's kind of a little bit in hindsight, so.
So, what are your current fitness goals going into being in 2025? What are your current goals for this year?
So, lots of different things are on the mind, but I am planning to do 2 triathlons this year. I was planning to do 2 marathons. I'm going to do 1 actual marathon, and then we're going to do the Maryland 24 Challenge in April, which will be pretty cool. That's 40, well, it's going to end up being 45 miles because it'll be the 4-state challenge, really. But the triathlon is going to be like, I think the big like challenge, the big thing for me to get through this year, because I've set a goal of doing an Ironman race before I turn 40. So I've got a few more years. But my plan is this year is to get a couple triathlons under my belt so that the following year I can go all in on like starting to train for Ironman. So that's the plan.
That your fitness journey has impacted your leadership as an entrepreneur?
I think people just think I'm more crazy now. No, maybe that could be actually true. I'm only partially kidding. It definitely, I would say, has increased my energy. I think it's also, well, not I think, I am certain that it has increased my own self-discipline. And in turn, I think that it has made me a little bit more rigid in some of my expectations and in my tolerance of other people. I think before this, I actually would allow a lot more from my team members. Like I would maybe allow people to get away with more because subconsciously I was kind of doing the same thing just in a different way. And when I started taking that more seriously, I was like, just shifted like across the board to like, I can't accept that anymore. So I would say definitely I've become more disciplined personally, but also like in my overall communication and in my overall leadership style. And I think that it's also allowed me to have a little bit like more positive outlook on some of the things that I experience. Like as a founder or as a CEO, like you're going to end up dealing with problems. Like a lot of our job is putting out fires and fixing things that are broken. And I've found that I am less like emotionally upset about those things, and I'm more just like, fix it, let's get it done. And I don't dwell on it emotionally the way that I used to before, because by the time I get out to do my next workout or whatever the case may be, I'm like, those things have been those emotions get kind of flushed out of my system, if you will. So that's been very helpful to just help me be a more stable leader to our team here.